You are now listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation. Your host, Ben Worthington.
Seven reasons why COVID has made it the best time to prepare for the IELTS exam. Hello there, my name is Ben Worthington, and in this tutorial I'm very excited to share with you my 7 reasons why I think it's the best time to pass IELTS. So before we jump into this, let me just tell you who I am in case you're unfamiliar. My name is Ben Worthington. I'm from England, from Yorkshire originally. I usually say Manchester because not that many people are familiar with Yorkshire. Anyway, I left the UK. I went to Spain and to study, basically. And then while I was there, I started teaching English. And eventually, because I like getting results, I like being productive, eventually I specialized in IELTS. I was teaching kids, I was teaching adults, I was teaching workers, I was teaching students. And, teaching kids is a whole different ball game. You have to be you have to be, you have to have a special kind of attitude. I liked it, but I couldn't stay with it long term. Teaching adults was fun, but a lot of the times they took the classes just to maintain their English rather than to improve, and they weren't interested in taking tests. Business students were awesome because they were ambitious, like Chinese students actually, very ambitious. But they weren't interested in taking tests. They just wanted to learn, negotiation vocabulary, business vocabulary. And then I found the students who wanted to take IELTS, and these were not only ambitious, but determined, and also they wanted to take the tests where we can measure if they are actually improving, if what I'm doing is successful. So I started specializing in the IELTS students and just working with students who were preparing for the IELTS. And as we all know, IELTS can be pretty tough. So what did I do? I jumped online, made a podcast, started inviting all the linguistic professionals I could find, exam writers, experienced tutors, and got all their knowledge, applied it with my own students, and if it worked, it went into my online course. If it failed, I threw it out and put it I threw it out along with all the other internet rubbish out there about passing IELTS. What I'm saying is, that could be misunderstood, is that online there's a lot of junk about passing IELTS, and so anyway, I test what works, what doesn't work, and then I put it in the online course. Jump to Band 7 or it's free. And with that course, I'll just briefly explain, and then we'll jump into the 7 reasons why it's a good time to take the IELTS exam. So the online course, what you do is you're watching a few modules, then you'll send in an exercise, we review the exercise, and then we email you back saying, good, keep going. And then you watch a few more tutorials about how to get ideas, how to organize your thoughts. And then you answer 2 essay corrections and send them in to us. We review them. We look at your essays and we say, okay, your vocabulary is fantastic, but the organization of ideas needs improving. Or sometimes when I'm correcting and the essay is amazing, I'll say, hey, how long did you spend on this? Because this is way too good. Because sometimes you get an amazing essay and it turns out it took them 3 days to write. So sometimes, we'll say, hey, how long are you spending on this really? But anyway, after that, you get your essay back, you review it, you implement what we teach, you watch a few more tutorials. Maybe it's about organizing your thoughts. Maybe it's how to use the structure that we provide. Maybe it's identifying questions. But you'll watch the next few tutorials, send in your essay, we review it, give you feedback. And this way, we've seen students improve very quickly. And it's a very effective way to boost your exam score. And also, as you'll find out later, there's a very, very low risk of getting COVID when you're doing this online course as well. Okay, so it's practically zero risk. So that's another advantage. Anyway, let's have a look at the 7 reasons why COVID's really kind of helped the students, or why it's a good time actually to prepare for the IELTS exam. So, first of all, because of COVID, we know that some countries basically closed their borders and they put all the travel restrictions, as is what's happening to the UK at the moment. And what's this done is that the immigration authorities, they have quotas to meet each year, and without the new immigrants coming into the country, they don't have this new flow. So it's harder for it's harder for the immigration agents, the official agents, to meet the quotas. So what are they doing? Well, they are increasing the amount of numbers for the new immigrants. This is one thing. The second thing I'll tell you in a minute, but they are allowing something like, I think it's 300,000, but because of the travel restrictions, there's a shortfall. So from between 2021 and 2023, more than 400,000 new permanent resident arrivals will be allowed per year. 400,000 permanent resident arrivals. That is great news if you are planning on PR in Canada. And also it's great news if you're a student in Canada and plan to follow on and go for permanent residency. Second, because of this shortfall of applicants in the country now, at the moment, because of the travel restrictions, the new flow of students and of workers and skilled workers haven't been able to get into the country, it's easier for those already in Canada. And this is exactly what happened to Amandeep, who we interviewed a few months ago. And he's the guy who got band 8 in the reading. It was a band 8.5, sorry. And what happened to him was that the amount of points that he needed dropped from 475 to 455. So he scrambled and studied like mad to get his IELTS and to get his application in and to take advantage of this opportunity. So if you're in Canada, it's a fantastic opportunity to move forward with your application now and get the IELTS and start the whole process. So just as a reminder, for him and for the stream that he was in, it dropped from 475 to 455, and that's quite a big chunk of points. Third reason, Trump. Whether you love him or you hate him. Personally, I hate him, but I find myself fascinated by watching his videos, by watching him speaking, but it's incredible. Anyway, he lost the election. I don't think he would agree with me there, but he lost the election and Biden is in. Good old Sleepy Joe. But what does this mean? Well, when there is a change of government, what usually happens is that some of the extreme policies that the previous administration brought in will get reversed. And Trump had this executive order called Proclamation Suspending Entry of Immigrants Who Present Risk to the US Labour Market During the Economic Recovery Following the COVID-10 Outbreak. So basically, this prohibited new work visas with the exception of healthcare and other sectors. Okay, so that's going to be reversed. Well, it's not going to be. There's a high possibility that Biden will reverse this. Also, there was the ban that Trump enacted about Trump on visas for students or for workers coming from Muslim countries, and that's probably going to be reversed as well. So it basically looks like it's going back to normal. We've had, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years of isolationist protective policies in the US with Trump, And that could be reversed with Biden coming in. So, you can use your IELTS to get into the US. The next big change, or the next big reason why IELTS is going to be very useful for you in 2021 is Brexit. Because with Brexit, one of the main reasons why the English, or us, we voted, was because of the large amount of immigrants coming from the EU. And that's another issue, massive issue. There's arguments for and against on both sides. It's very complicated. We're not going to get into it. But basically, with Brexit, the doors are going to be closed. Okay, this is one of the big reasons why we left. The doors will now be closed, and it's more than likely going to go to a points-based system like Canada and Australia. So for the EU workers, they probably have to apply on a points-based system, and for the rest of the world, they'll be using the points-based system as well, like probably something similar is already in place. But now we will need more workers from around the world. Okay, the doors are open now, much wider for the rest of the world, or there's more opportunities, more doors. There's probably a better way of saying it. There'll be less EU workers coming in. We need to fill the gaps left by the EU workers. How are we going to do that? Probably moving to a Canadian or Australian system where it's all on points. And we all know IELTS gives you a big bag of points when you're applying. Next reason, if you are working in medicine, as I know a lot of our listeners are, doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, whatnot, then now is I wouldn't say it's a great time. It's a horrendously stressful time, I imagine. And yeah, we owe a debt of gratitude to health workers. But what I want to say is that the UK Home Office, because we need these workers, has basically it wasn't going to extend the visas for healthcare workers, but it has reversed that decision, and it's automatically renewing some of these visas that is given to NHS workers. And basically, and I guess as well, if this COVID thing continues, the door is going to be open and for healthcare workers working in the UK, as well as the whole Brexit thing, there's going to be even more need for healthcare workers. And IELTS is going to be definitely helpful for you in this. And Australia, there's reports in the news about Australia needing an extra 205,000 healthcare workers as well. And there's a big question of where will they come from? From the Philippines, from Europe, from, Africa, from India? Where are they going to come from? We don't know. But we know that both countries, practically most of the countries in the Western Hemisphere need more healthcare workers. And what do most of them need to do before they can even start with the PLAB and other medical exams? They usually have to take IELTS. So it's going to be a big demand of help for healthcare workers. IELTS will help you get into the country. Sixth reason why it's a great time to start your preparation right now. Two reasons actually for number 6. Normally, if you buy the online course, you'll get 90 days of access. But because of COVID, because of the test centers closing and opening, we are going to extend that to a whole year now. So if you buy in the next 20 buyers, okay, no, I'm getting mixed up. If you buy now, if you buy in December, you'll get the course for the rest of the year. And also for the next 20 buyers, you get a $50 coupon. That $50 coupon is 50 discount COVID 2021. And that'll get you $50 off. So you can use that. And we've got 20 of those coupons. So act fast and get that course. And I'll just say it again. Write it down with a pen and paper. 50 discount, all in capital letters, 50 discount COVID 2021, numbers at the end. Okay, so that you're going to get increased access a whole year. That's 4 times more than normal. And you're going to get $50 coupon as well. So why not? 7th and final reason why it's a great time to take the IELTS. As I mentioned before, you're not going to get COVID emailing an essay into us. Our system, our teachers, our native English teachers, all around the world, we are going to be online at home correcting your work. So if you're thinking about a local academy but are a little bit undecided because of the risks of COVID, the risks of it being closing and all that, then perhaps an online course would work for you. We've got 24-hour essay correction turnaround time. You can move fast. We've got our native English speaker, expert essay correctors online, emailing you. We've got email support 24/7. It's just a really good time to move forward and to get your IELTS. And like I said, there's no chance we're going to be closing because of COVID. All of us, we work from home, and yeah, it's just much safer. So have a think about this. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. You can email us at ben@IELTSPodcast.com. It'll be great to see you on the course. And yeah, we love giving essay corrections. We love giving feedback. We love seeing the improvement in band scores and all the success stories as well. So have a great day. Keep moving forward. Keep improving, and you will get there. All the best.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.